Hi, I'm Cindy Ray. I live in Portland, Oregon. I'm a facilitator at Cedar Mill Bible Church. I'm currently facilitating my 8th group, and we were on chapter 6 when our governor mandated no large group gatherings, and my church made the wise decision to close the campus until the mandate has been lifted. So that meant my group didn't have anywhere to meet. We decided to be creative and try to come up with some ideas for still meeting in person and social distancing, but we all decided in the end that we should just take it online, and we're using the Zoom platform. One of my participants has the $14 a month subscription where you can have up to 100 participants, which covers our Mending the Soul group, obviously, and up to 24 hours to meet. And so that falls in the 2-hour time frame, of course. So I know there are some other online platforms, but Zoom has been working great for us. And so feel free to utilize other online platforms such as Skype and Google and things like that. I just wanted to share a few of my observations with you and tips to taking a group online if you haven't done that before. It is different. It's gonna be a little awkward and different at first. Allow each participant some time to check in, a few minutes each, because that's usually when you're in person, that's usually done when you first show up or when you're leaving the group. And so that doesn't happen obviously when you're online and not in the same room together. So a few minutes at the beginning to check in is great to have that opportunity. Make sure you still go through the group guidelines. This is important to continue with the safety of the group, and maybe add in a few other things like no recording, no photos. Make sure you're in a spot that is away from the rest of the people in your household so other people can't overhear what's happening and being shared to keep the safety of the group. Since it's not an in-person group, you still have, or you don't have the nonverbal cues, or it's harder to see on those tiny little squares of the people that you see on the screen. So you need to pay extra attention to each participant and try to draw them out, try to draw those quiet ones out in a gentle way. Maybe prep a few questions or just ask them, hey, how is it going with you? What do you have to share? And that will give the quieter ones that might not take the opportunity to jump in like they would in person in an online environment. Along with that, I've also just been more cognizant to prepare a few extra discussion questions to keep the conversations going. Be sure to also still give space for emotions. It might be a little awkward online to have silence, but with this pandemic and with being sheltered in place, layered on top of our own abuse and trauma, there will be emotions that need to be released, that your participants need to release some triggers from what's going on currently and still walking through their own healing through Mending the Soul. So during the guidelines, I'd like to just kind of highlight that, let them know that we're going to still process emotions and allow space for the emotions. Also be sure to give feedback when participants share vulnerably. It's hard to see you as a facilitator in that small box, and so when they're sharing vulnerably, they might not be looking at you, so share verbally once they're finished. And then also reach out after the meeting to let them know that you appreciated them sharing so vulnerably and honestly and openly. Also be sure to set up in a space that is private. There won't be any distractions behind you, kids running through or spouses coming through the video, or roommates or whoever you live with, pets, etc. I've let my family know not to disturb me for those couple of hours, and they've been pretty compliant. I also encourage my ladies to grab a blanket, grab a cup of tea, and just get comfy. This is a space for a couple of hours out of our new norm, and it's a great time to be connecting with your groups. since we are online, some things also just need to be pointed out verbally to everyone. Yes, this is awkward to be online and not have people sitting around the table looking at you, agreeing with you, crying with you, laughing with you. But try to stay positive and continue to reach out to your participants during this time. Be vulnerable and honest, as well as letting them know how you're doing vulnerably. I hope this encourages you to keep your groups going. Or if you're planning to start a new one soon, please do. This is a time when people need connection, and it might be also a very triggering time for our participants and people going through Mending the Soul. So please continue your group, continue to reach out in creative ways. I'm praying fiercely for all of the groups, facilitators, and participants throughout the world. Please reach out to us if you have questions or if you have any ideas, any creative ideas. Blessings to you all.